What is going on, my fellow Division 2 agents? Welcome back to the channel. It's D Werewolf Gaming back with another Division 2 video. Alright guys, I hope everyone has been doing well and staying safe. Today I got a very powerful and fun build to showcase. This build is not only designed for solo gameplay, it works well in groups as well. And guys, I will show you different variations of this build if you do not have all the parts to go with it. With that being said though, the gear set we are going to be using is the ongoing directive set. And if you're new to this game guys, what this particular set does is basically you will apply a mark to those targets that you're shooting at. And if you kill those marked enemies guys, but of course the first thing to be able to apply the mark is that you have to apply some sort of status effect on that target, and then it will apply a mark, which if you kill that target then it will allow you to get what we call hollow point ammo. And what that does is it amplifies the weapon damage you do to the targets as long as you are hitting those enemies with those bleeding rounds. With that being said though, this build is very fun. It's not just catered towards solo gameplay. You can also use this build in groups as well, because the hollow point ammo will be shared amongst those who are in your group or your party. With that being said though, I do want to give a big thank you to everyone that continues to support me on the channel, and especially those who always have something positive to say guys. Really appreciate each and every one of you for your valued time and continued support. Alright guys, so as usual we're going to finish up with this gameplay, and then we will go over this build breakdown shortly. And for those who enjoy the gameplay and want to see more of how this build works, stick around after we go over the build breakdown and I will give you more gameplay. Alright guys, so on this particular build we did use two LMGs, and one of the LMGs is the Carnage and the other one is the Bluescreen. Generally a lot of times I don't really use two of the same weapons from the same archetype, but I felt it worked great in this build, so let's go over it. Alright, the Carnage LMG is an amazing LMG guys. One thing that makes it amazing is the talent, but as you can see I do have a weapon expertise of 30% with the core attributes being fully maxed out. I won't really go over the core stats because I do have stacks from the Memento backpack that is boosting this weapon's damage. But overall, it's just an amazing gun. The accuracy is pretty poor and the stability isn't that great either. But what we was really focusing on was the talent. The talent on this gun is called Perfect Status. It amplifies weapon damage by 35% to bleeding enemies. After 3 kills, it automatically applies on the next enemy that you hit. The mods I do have on this gun is a 10% critical hit damage, 50 plus 50 rounds in the magazine, plus 30 stability, and a 5% critical hit chance mod. Alright, so the secondary weapon, or that doesn't really matter guys, I go back and forth with these weapons, but the Bluescreen exotic LMG. This gun is amazing because this gun is all about crowd control in my opinion. As you can see, the weapon expertise is 30%, and the core attributes and the attributes are fully maxed out. But the main thing we're focusing on this gun guys is that talent. It's called Disruptor Rounds. Shooting an enemy marks that enemy and adds a stack to the agent up to a count of 50. Shooting a marked enemy refreshes the mark and adds stacks to the agent. When you deploy a non-shield skill, you remove all stacks on the agent and all marked targets trigger in an effect. At 1 to 10 stacks, you will post marked targets for 5 seconds. At 11 to 25 stacks, you will post and disrupt marked targets for 5 seconds. At 26 to 49 stacks, you will post, disrupt, and disorient marked targets for 5 seconds. Basically, when you get to 50 stacks, guys, you will post, disrupt, and disorient marked targets and all hostiles within 10 meters of the marked target. This effect will also trigger immediately if a marked target is killed. So this is amazing, guys. The mods that come with this gun, you cannot change this. 20% reload speed, plus 15% weapon handling, stability, and a 20% increase in fire rate. Alright, for the sidearms, we did have the Orbit pistol equipped primarily for the talent, but it's called Perfect Finisher. Swiping from this weapon within 10 seconds of killing an enemy grants 35% critical hit chance and 40% critical hit damage for 15 seconds. The mods I do have on this gun is 20% reload speed and a 10% critical hit damage mod. Alright guys, so for mask we did go with one piece Cheska mask, primarily for that first trait, which is the 8% increase in critical hit chance. The core attribute I did have a weapon core, with the attributes being 12% critical hit damage attributes and a 6% critical hit chance. Alright, so we did go with the ongoing directive set, and 2 pieces gives you 15% increase in status effect. When you have on 3 pieces, you will have 30% increase in reload speed, and guys, basically when you have on 4 pieces, you get the rules of engagement. Shooting a status effect enemy will apply a mark. Killing a marked enemy grants a full clip of hollow point ammo for your active weapon and half of the clip of the agent's active weapon to the agents, basically anybody within your party. The mark lasts for 10 seconds. Hollow point ammo amplifies weapon damage by 20% and applies bleed on hit. Alright, so I did for the core attribute, I did have an armor core with the attributes being a 12% critical hit damage and a 6% critical hit chance attribute. The talent is Parabellum rounds. Basically, it increases hollow point ammo weapon damage amplification to 50%. So you're going from 20% to 50%. So you definitely want to wear the chest piece whenever you're using this particular set, guys. This bonus does not apply to party members though, so keep that in mind. All right, for the second piece of the ongoing director, it is the holster. And I did have for the core attribute, I did have an armor core with a 6% critical hit chance attribute. For the knees, I did have a core attribute being a weapon damage core with a 6% critical hit chance attribute. And for the gloves, guys, we did have another weapon core attribute with a 6% critical hit chance attribute. All right, and for the backpack, guys, I know a lot of times I make videos and I use the Memento backpack, but this backpack is amazing, guys. It gives you 3 cores. You get a weapon, an armor, and a skill tier. On top of that, guys, the talent is what makes it really stand out from all other exotics in this game. The talent is called Kill Confirm. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on deck. Collecting those trophies provides both a short and long-term benefit, which scales with the number of cores that you have. For example, guys, for each red core, you're going to be getting 5% increase in red in weapon damage. For each blue, you're going to be getting 10% increase in bonus armor. And each yellow core, you're going to be getting plus 5% in skill efficiency. For every trophy collected, you gain an additional plus 1% weapon damage and plus 1% skill efficiency. And plus a 0.1% armor regeneration for basically you're going to get up to 3% armor regen. Now this backpack is amazing, guys, and I really enjoy using it because it works great, especially in solo gameplay. One of the primary reasons I was using it is to be able to get my skills back faster. Since I was using the Banshee Pulse, I wanted to be able to use it a lot faster. And since basically when you get your stats, guys, you're going to be improving your skill efficiency. So that way you can get your skills back a lot faster and use them a lot more often. This build relies heavily on using some sort of status effect to proc the talent on the ongoing directive set. So that is one of the reasons why I did go to a Memento backpack. Alright, and for the skills, guys, we did use the Banshee Pulse, and then what it does is you basically disorient those enemies, and it also goes through cover as well. In order to use this pulse, guys, you will have to be using the Gunner Specialization, and that's the stat. But you can also use the Jammer Pulse if you want it as well. But I went with the Banshee Pulse because it disorients those enemies, and it still works the same. You will apply that status effect. Now for your other skill, guys, I was using the Striker Drone to draw aggro, but you could have went with the Reviver Hive or even using the Stinger Hive as well. The Stinger Hive applies bleed, so that is a sort of a status effect to be able to help prompt the talent from using the ongoing directive set. All right, in the gameplay, there was no mods used. So, I wanted to show you gameplay without using the mods. And the weapon stats, as you can see, with the Carnage, guys, I did have a 53% critical hit chance with 103 critical hit damage with an 85% headshot damage. With the Bluescreen, critical hit chance was 48% and critical hit damage was 93%. Headshot damage stayed the same. All right, for the armor on this build, guys, I felt it was pretty balanced. It did have right there 1,307,822 armor with 130,782 armor on a kill. I know right there it does say 0 armor regeneration, but guys, keep in mind I do have the Memento backpack equipped, so whenever you get up your 30 stacks, I will have 3% armor regen. So that is just amazing, guys, to help you survive. Now here's another way I do enjoy playing this build, and this variation I would recommend you using whenever you're playing in groups. Now I would change out this Cheska mask and use the Coyotes mask. And what it does is it basically gives you bonuses from the distance of the enemies that you're firing at, especially when you're playing in teams, guys. So basically, for every distance from 0 to 15 meters, you're going to be getting increasing critical hit damage. From 15 to 25, you're going to be getting critical hit chance and critical hit damage. And 25 meters on and on out, guys, you're going to be getting increasing critical hit chance. This mask worked great, guys, and it also applies to team members within your party as well. Now, of course, you wouldn't be able to equip 2 exotic weapons, 2 exotic pieces at the same time, so you would need to use a different backpack. Guys, go with a backpack. I would go with one that gives you more damage, such as Unstoppable, or even using the Vigilance talent. Ultimately, use whichever one works best for you. This is the setup I do use from time to time as well. And, I go back and forth from using the Unstoppable Force and using the Vigilance talents, because the Unstoppable Force, guys, you will not lose the damage if you take damage, versus the Vigilance, if you take damage, you lose the buff. All right, for this build, we did go with this gunner specialization. And basically, guys, every third reload will be 50% faster. Whenever you kill those enemies, you will have increased rate of fire, which turns into more damage. And every kill as well, you will get 10% armor back on the kill. One last thing is don't forget to equip the correct weapon element to get your bonus and weapon damage by 15%. So remember, whatever weapon you're using, guys, to equip that element to get your increase in weapon damage of 15%. Overall, guys, this is an amazing build. I really do enjoy using it. If you like builds that you can play in teammates, guys, this build will work great in co-op gameplay. As always, thank you for your valuable time and continued support. All right, guys, stick around for the rest of the gameplay. All right, beware wolf out.
Anyway. Reload, damn it!
Authentication successful. Access granted. Hostile radio intercepted.
The alarm! Fucking division got into the vault!
It's cool. We moved the president. He's tucked away nice and cozy upstairs.
Holy shit. They pulled the president out of the wreckage. Agent, you've got a new assignment. Find out where the president is being held and get him back. Sync Isaac with the bank's security system. There should be a data center near the vault.
Beginning search query.
President Ellis. Oh, the helicopter on standby to extract him.
You don't understand. I've got the goddamn fuel.
Give him an earpiece and get him on comms.
Heads up. We're inbound to your location. Coming in over the HU. Keep your heads down. We're gonna make a hole.